This is Thomas here. We are back from Rome, and we are here, as you can hear, the Chicago Air and Water Show, August of 2023. So, last week we ended by talking about the importance of starting with why, or starting with the ultimate why, and how some of the best people that have ever lived, the people that are legends, we consider legends today, they started not only with some variety of why, but ultimately the human why, the ultimate why, everything that connects everything together. They start at that essence of what makes humans human, and they connect with that, and that's how they're able to bring so much influence from other people around. But you start with why, what's the next question? You just go right to the how, or right to the what, for that matter. I'm gonna make an argument today that you need to start with the who, then you go with the where, then you go with the when. Sometimes you don't know what you wanna do. You have no clue. Woo, that feels good. Sometimes you don't know what you wanna do. All you know is you got some people to go do it with. Or sometimes you don't know where to go do it, but you figure you go move to a big city and then you get things started from there. Or sometimes you don't know when to go do something, and the first instinct is saying, hey, let's go do it right now. Or let's wait until after the recession's over. Or let's wait until a recession starts. Or whatever that might be. The timing matters so much with getting this sort of picking your business idea and really nailing it to the ground right and correct the first time around. So let me talk a little bit about the who. Okay? The who is a much easier question to answer than the why, because when it comes to the who, it's very, very simple. You pick the people that are around you. You pick the people that are good at what you're doing, or you pick the people that have similar values, that have similar skill sets as you. You start with the who because ultimately, at the end of the day, the business is ultimately about people. It's people that make a business work in the first place, and you gotta get the right people on the bus first before you even figure out where you're supposed to go with it. So, when it comes to the who, it's really, really important that you have people that have matching values with what you have and complementary skill sets. You don't want to be walking around with people that can do the exact same things as you unless you're supposed to go double up on a particular project. You want to have differentiated skill sets. So you also want to pick long-term people to go surround yourself with, because it's those people that are going to build things for the long term and for the long scale. When we think about building businesses, you need a very, very long runway, the same way that these aircraft need a long runway to get things up and running to actually go and take off. You can't be around people that are excited about one thing one day and excited about something else the next day. It just doesn't work out like that. You need to be people that are going to be around for the long term. The longer the better, you're going to run into a lot of people your whole life, and with all these people that you go run into, there's going to be some people that are there for the short term, and there's going to be some people there that are for a couple of years, and then there's going to be some people that are there for your whole life. You want to go find the people that are going to be with you for the entirety of your life. You want to have as long of a runway as possible, because that's going to give you the best chance to be able to build something which is able to sustain an income for the whole team, but then also be able to scale into something which becomes really, world recognized in the first place. So that's the who. The next part is the where. A lot of people will look at something like a big city, like the Chicago, for example. I'm at the Air and Water Show, and there's a lot of people that have just congregated here today because they're watching these amazing and amazingly loud aircraft throughout history kind of do their thing and go perform for them. And it's something that happens about once per year. We'll talk about the when in a second, but as far as the where goes, you can't find this in a small town. You can't find this in the farm somewhere. You may be thinking that you're saving money, but there's a good reason why the cities are more expensive than the suburbs, and the suburbs are more expensive than the rural regions. It's because there's opportunity there. Commerce exists there. Back when I was in Rome, I was looking around in the Roman Forum, and in the Roman Forum, what I could see was a place where people congregated. And you got to ask yourselves, why would people congregate in this one place? Well, they're going for commerce. They're going to go share an experience together, and with that experience, they're going to go and transact. That's what people do. The value is not objective, it's subjective, but people are going to value one thing more than the stuff that they have in their own hands, and that's the context for making a trade or a transaction at all. And this not only applies for the actual commerce side of things when it comes to actual buying and selling of things, but also the trading of ideas. Think about the academy, or think about any place where people go and exchange ideas, one person's idea for a different person's idea. You want to go to the place where there's a lot of people interacting, and it's no wonder it's more expensive. It's because people happen to make more money in those places. So don't be distracted by the actual expense of being in a city. In fact, it's probably a good thing that you're actually in the city and you're actually transacting at a frequent or at a massive basis, because that's where the big deals are going to happen. So as far as the where goes, you want to be thinking very strategically. You can't go run a business out of a garage somewhere. Maybe you could get a start there, but you're not going to continue doing it there. There's no accident that many major headquarters of major businesses exist in cities. That's because that's where the labor is. That's where people are. It doesn't really matter how much we get into the digital space. What matters is that you want to be in the place where other people are at, and that's always going to be the case for the rest of the time. Now, as far as the when goes, okay, I've decided to film this video at a very unique time where probably the loudest jet that's flying throughout this entire show is actually going during this time period. Okay, I'm really here, maybe not necessarily to film a video on top of this fighter jet essentially flying above me and creating all sorts of ruckus, but really I just want to demonstrate that because we're in a unique time right now, and I don't mean like in this era or in this year, I mean like today, this is actually a time for people to actually congregate and go meet and go hang out and go watch this amazing thing. Amazing things will go and gather attention. Attention really is the most valuable resource today. A lot of people say time, time, more specific is, people's attention. So the when matters a lot. If you find the right place logistically to go transact your product, or you find the right place logistically to go find people that are going to actually help you build your organization, then you don't have to worry too much about the what. And you don't really have to worry too much about the how either, because if you have people and they have the right why and it goes and fuels them, the how and the what are going to handle themselves perfectly fine. So don't think too much about the how or what after you think about the why. When you got the why down and you make it really, really deep, then you can start shifting over into the who, the where, and the when. So that's just a couple ideas from today. I hope you enjoyed the background noise, everything's going on. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.